The Legends devs just released a new Legends Limited instant transmission Goku, and you want to know how to build him, but first you need to know how to play him. What you're going to need to know is that he's purple and he's a range type. Obvious tags like Sun Family and Saiyans, and he's from the Cell Saga. His kit is built around Vanish Recovery. He gets Vanish Recovery on his strike, his blast, his ultimate art, his blue card, and his main ability. So you can tell he's going to be very skill oriented. His green card and blue card together are an amazing combination. His green is an explosive, which gives him type neutral that can't be cancelled. And his ultimate art, if his gauge is full, he'll be able to lock you in to do big damage. His gauge is time based, so whether he's on standby or in the battlefield, his gauge will be filling. And something else important to note, every time he switches into the battlefield, he'll go type neutral defensively, which will be a big help. Let's get into building him now. So the first team we've got is Sun Family. Sun Family is just a standard good team. They've been cooking right now. I also want to point out, I already said earlier that this guy is range type, but Sun Family is more strike orientated as a default. So you'll be putting him on a team where he's not using his main type of attack, but that's still fine because he has high damage output and he will stack. It's just not going to be the most optimal way to play him, but the surrounding allies are just good enough that it can work. Beast Gohan and Diamond Goku, who are the two I have here, but they're not the only two. And of course in the middle we would have the Goku. His Z ability is for Sun Family. Diamond Goku's Z ability is for Sun Family, and you want to put Beast Gohan on the leader slot so he can get his full ultra ability, which is based around hybrid Saiyans, I believe. You can see it there at the bottom. Yeah, so you're not going to be running 6 hybrid Saiyans. The odds are just having the Goku means he's going to be 5% short, so you're going to want to put him on the leader slot. Now let's go into character list and go through other options you've got to run on Sun Family. Now right now Blue Beast is on the boost, so maybe if you did want to run him you can get some results out of him, but I wouldn't personally recommend him. He's more of a fun option, and I'd advise you have him at 14 stars at least because he's been out for a couple years now. Fusing Super Vegeta is a very good option on the boost. I've been using him, but still I'd advise at least 9 stars or higher. Outside of that, going into the greens, maybe Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan would be able to help you. He actually is range type, so that could be a nice addition with the likes of the new Goku that's dropping. Then I wouldn't recommend any other ones out of those. Going into purple, I'd suggest potentially Ultimate Gohan, but he's the only one. Outside of that, the purples are really not it. And running 2 purples is actually just whoa. you're trying to dead yourself straight away as soon as you get into PvP. So I wouldn't recommend running any purple. That's not the Goku, of course. Going into yellow, I already mentioned Beast Gohan. He's going to be your best bet. But another option that could possibly work out is Ultra UI. He also has a similar thing where he's going to be sliding and dodging and things like that. But he's also range type, which could make it work super well. But more than ever, I advise you do run a red. The reason why you'd want to run a red, because red attacks yellows, which is going to attack purple, which is the new Goku, which is why I had Diamond Goku on the setup. But another option I would consider is Pan over here. Pan is a very good support system, and in addition to the sub count reduction that this new Goku has, you'd be manipulating sub counts so fast with this team, it'll go crazy. But it's a bit experimental, that suggestion. But outside of that, I wouldn't recommend any other Sun Family units. Are they showing all the ones? Let me show the ones I don't have. So at the bottom, we also have God Goku, should go without saying. We have Triku, we have the Super Saiyan 2-3 Goku, and we have Trunks and Gohan. Those 4 are all valid contenders that could be very, very useful on your team. I'd say mainly Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, God Goku, them 2 are very valid. But Trunks and Gohan, if you run them on the leader slot or something, could be that layer of survivability since they have the succession, which is basically revival, or if you want to call it comeback, whatever you want to call it. It's succession, but it's basically revival. But yeah, that's the first team. We got Sun Family. Just be wary of the type because he's range type, but Sun Family in and out is mostly strike based, which doesn't work the best for him, but the surrounding units are just good enough that it can work. The second team we got for this video is Saiyans. Saiyans is going to be mainly built off the fact that it's Sun Family for the most part, but there are some other contenders that are very valuable, which we'll get into. So you can see on my leader slot, I've got a phony option, which is Ultra Majin Vegeta, but it's not Majin Vegeta because, you know, it's clearly not Majin Vegeta, it's Age of Vegeta. Anyways, we got Diamond Goku again. Sun family unit, but we'll obviously buff the new Goku. And then in the middle, we would have that unit. I already advised that if you're going to be running this new Goku, you try to keep a red on the team. Having a red is very valuable because red will attack the yellows, which attack purple. So you'll be protecting your purple by using a red unit, which protects you from the unit that you're going to be disadvantaged to. But it's not really that big of a deal because he goes type neutral defensively anyways. But it's just in case, you know, you never know what type of situation you'll be in. And a lot of people will try to do that anyways. Let's go into the character list now and see what other contenders that we've got. So in the blue option, I already mentioned fusing Super Vegito could be a very good option, simply because at 40 stars the HP buff, but the Rise and Rush mechanic is good. But the main thing is that they're on boost, you know. Ultra Super Gogeta with his plat, wouldn't necessarily recommend, but could come in handy. Just putting it out there, you know, having that unit. There are some characters at the bottom again that I don't have, so wait until I get there. Going into the greens here, Vegito blue, and I already mentioned Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, but I'm going to show him down below. Rose may be on the leader slot, but you'd be messing up the team synergy. The thing about Saiyans is, even though there's good options, Saiyans don't mesh well, so they might all be Saiyans, but their Z abilities are going to be buffing totally different things, which is why it's difficult to build a team with just considering the pure Saiyan aspect. So you got to be very careful with who you're using, and your leader slot option would have to be quite strict. So be careful with that. Going into the purples, again, running 2 purples, you're basically trying to dead yourself. But out of all the options on my screen, I would only recommend G4. And even then, it's a very vulnerable option. Maybe Blue Bros instead, actually. A lot of people run them and you don't actually have to leader slot them because they buff Sun family. But running 2 purples is crazy. Blue Bros actually switch element. They reverse, sorry. Going into yellows, I spoke about UI Goku because he's also a range type, which could come in handy. And besides from that, everybody else on my screen is not really cooking. But the red options, Diamond Goku is going to be your main man. Should go without saying. And the rest are not really cooking in terms of the Saiyans. And then we got to go to the characters I don't have, which is quite a lot. So Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I do heavily recommend. Ultra Margin Vegeta, I do heavily recommend. Ultra Turles, I do heavily recommend, especially with his comeback. So he has 2 lives. God Goku, I spoke about him in the Sun family section. I do heavily recommend. And also, I'll put Triku in the conversation, maybe even Broly having a red. If you want to leader slot him to make the rest of the team Sun family in some way, shape, or form, I do recommend. I wouldn't actually recommend Rose. The synergy just wouldn't work as well. You know, I think he really needs to be on a future team to get the most out of him, so I wouldn't recommend him. But those guys that I spoke for, I do recommend heavily. So that would be the second team, and we're going to be having Saiyans. Now we're going to be going into some leader slot options, some of which I might have already mentioned, but I'm just bringing them up again because you might want to actually consider them. They could be very useful. So we've got fusing Super Vegito here. If you have them at 14 stars, they also give a HP buff if you put them on the leader slot, but they're Sun family, they're Saiyans as well. And they're on the boost. Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan being a range type is super valuable to run on the same team as the new Goku, so that could be a good addition. Plus we already know that Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is quite insane. I'd recommend at least 2 copies, so 8 stars or above, to make him feel like he's actually doing something. Further, we got Vegito Blue, shouldn't need to be explained. Counter is very effective, but he's also a range type unit, which would be effective if you put him on the leader slot. Beast Gohan should also go without saying. He's Ultra Beast Gohan, not going to go into him. Diamond Goku, I spoke about the value of running a red alongside this guy to attack the yellows that attack purples, so it keeps your guy safe even though he already has defensive type neutral. Here we have God Goku, the endurance layer with buff cancellation. You must run his plat, very valuable to make him look good. He is actually good though, doesn't just look good, he is good. We also have Ultra Turles here with the comeback. That's a super nice addition. Keeps you alive just that bit longer. And there's no real enemies here, you know. So you're able to actually thrive if you're using him. We have Ultra Margin Vegeta. Again, just a very oppressive unit. You shouldn't have to go kind of like explain why this guy's good. He's going. We know that. And then we have Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3 Goku. This unit here, combo extender, really useful. I believe he's immune as well to key recovery. I mean key reduction, which is super nice. Key cost increase, that's what it is. So very useful in that aspect. Very useful in terms of teams that have extension of combos. So cover null on entry is super nice. Here we have Gohan and Trunks. Just that second life mechanic, the succession, will come in handy. So that's another unit. They also have 2 elements which push them a slightly bit ahead, blue and purple. But running 2 purples, be wary, is very, very not good. But the blue side pulse succession is the main element, so you'd be safe in that regard. And then the last one here, we have merges of Masu. Red unit, very good to run aside a purple unit. So putting that out there as another leader slot option that you can actually run. I almost forgot about Gotenks as well, with the survivability and being range type. And I also want to consider the new Trunks. The new Trunks, we don't know what he can do completely, but we did get a glimpse of it. But I don't really touch on the 1% sparkings because we don't have their full kit at the time I make this video. I'm trying to prep you for the Goku, you know. But Gotenks is a good option as well. And of course, the new Trunks being red is a very nice addition to protect this new unit who's purple. Now we've got some bench options. I just advise going for Zenkai buffers, and depending on who else is on your team, you go around and buff them as well. So you're not going to be running a full team of purples most likely. So we got this Vegeta here, he's a Zenkai buffer. We have this Super Saiyan 3 Goku, who's also a Zenkai buffer. We have this Super Vegeta also. I was thinking more of a Blast Fusion type of team with the green Vegito and Gotenks. This guy would be a Zenkai buffer and a HP buff if you have him 14 stars and you put the Goku on the leader slot. And then we have Blue Bros here who have a weaker Z ability, a Zenkai buff, sorry. But it's still an option that you can run, so this is another option there. And that's all I have. The rest would depend on who your other units are and how the team you're forming is going to move like. So now we're going to be going through equipment. We've got this one here first, Unleash Your True Power. It's a Son Family Pure. I often get people ask me what's the difference between base and pure, and the simplest way I explain it is by saying that pure equipments, so you see how it says 11.95 to own strike attack, but usually it'd say to base strike attack. The difference is the pure, so this equip here, is a multiplier, so consider it like that. But base is addition, so you need a lot of base and then you add, well, you add the multiplier basically, and the multiplier will blow up the base number that you have. But if you just have a bunch of multipliers, you're not going to get a lot of damage on your equipment. So you want to get 2 equipments with a lot of base and 1 pure equipment to max out your stats. And in this case, this is one of them. So you can run Son Family and you have to run 3 to get the use of the 2nd slot and the 3rd slot. So it's pure blast, pure strike. And how you get this is from the dual coin exchange shop. This equipment here is going to be very effective. Ultimate Gohan Awakens, it gives you pure defenses, blast and strike, but the condition for the 2nd slot is that you run a hybrid Saiyan, so you'll get the 2nd slot because this Goku is obviously a Saiyan, but he's not a hybrid Saiyan. So if you're running a hybrid Saiyan, most likely on your Son Family team, you've got Beast Gohan, then you'll be getting the blast defense if you want to beef him up a little bit. On the 1st slot, try to get the blast attack percentage slot, please, because he's blast based, and it's for Son Family, and you can get this from the dual coin exchange shop. Since we're going back to Cell Saga, this equipment here, Kamehameha, and then it stops there. Base strike defense, special move ultimate damage, and base blast attack. The last slot, it cannot be rolled halfway, but it's a Cell Saga, you know. Sometimes it's base blast, and then you might be able to get strike just like the previous equipment. But this one here overall is very good, and you can get this from the Ultimate Equipment Collection. You might want to get a couple of these because Cell Saga might be coming up, but this is a good one nonetheless. But yeah, Ultimate Equipment Collection, normal Cell Saga. This one is similar to the Superhero Gohan one that I just showed you previously, but you might have this one, Super Saiyan Goten. The difference is you get health restoration on the 1st slot, which could be more useful to you depending on how you want to build him. And of course, you get your defenses, so pure strike and pure blast defenses. They've kind of swapped the slots though, but the condition is still the same, where you need to have a hybrid Saiyan as a battle member. So he's not a hybrid Saiyan, so you'd have to run somebody like Beast Gohan. But the health restoration could be a big plus for you. And the condition is Super Saiyan, which Goku obviously is. And you can get this from the dual coin exchange shop. Now, this one here, I'm just going to slide it in more as a recommendation for fun. It's actually quite useful, as you can see. Base strike defense, special move and ultimate damage, so just the big nuke attacks. And then of course you get the Vanish recovery, which is what his whole kit is based on. It's all up to my fist, and you can get this from the Legends Road event and the Equipment Medal exchange shop. So you can see there the Turtle Medal Gold and the Equipment Medal exchange shop. This equipment here isn't too bad as well. It's a gold one, so it's not as hard to grind. The 1st slot is base key recovery. The 2nd one, you make sure you get your base blast attack. Then the 3rd one, you get special move and health restoration, which is nice. And you can get this from the Equipment Medal exchange shop. You thought that would scare me, and it's got Cell on the cover. I want to also point out that with the release of this new Goku, there's most likely going to be equipment that are tailored to him specifically. If not that, there's going to be equipments tailored to Cell Saga, because this whole campaign is going forward. It's not really a campaign, but they just decided to drop stuff for Cell Saga, so it's very likely we're going to get an Ultra that's going to be Cell Saga. The same way they did last year. They had Super Vegeta as a Legends Limited, and then we got Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan as well. So those two dropped. I don't know in what order, but they dropped together. So yeah, expect equipment for Cell Saga, or specifically something tailored for Goku. Oh, my camera blacked out there, but yeah. But yeah, man, I tried my best to give you guys the best team's equipments, leader slots, bench in the best format possible, plus telling you how to use this guy so you guys will be good. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.